What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Roger Report. The news cycle is absolutely on fire this week, and we've got some massive updates you won't want to miss. From the courts to the record books, the biggest names are making headlines. Get ready for some unmissable action and incredible achievements. We're diving into it all right now. First up, a dominant force on the court is back in the finals, proving why he's number one. Then, we're looking at how that same star is rewriting tennis history, surpassing even the legends. Next, another titan of the game is etching his name in the record books for lightning-fast achievements. And finally, a look back at a legendary player's strategic gamble that paid off big time. Stick around, you do not want to miss this. Dominant force back in finals. World number one Jannik Sinner has secured his spot in the Cincinnati Open finals, set to defend his Rookwood Cup title. In a commanding performance during the semifinals on August 16th, Sinner, the ATP's top-ranked player, defeated world number 136 Terence Atmain on center court with a score of 7-6, 4, 6-2. This victory, achieved on his 24th birthday, extended Sinner's remarkable hard-court winning streak to an impressive 26 consecutive matches. It also marked his 200th tour-level win on hard courts, bringing his career record to 249. Sinner expressed his satisfaction post-match, stating, "My mindset today was in a good spot. For my side, I'm very happy to be in a final again." As the reigning Cincinnati Open champion, Sinner is now aiming to become the first man since Roger Federer in 2014-2015 to win back-to-back titles at this prestigious event. His path to the final saw him overcome a Cinderella run by Atmain, who entered the tournament as a qualifier. Atmain had an extraordinary journey, winning 7 matches in just 9 days, including significant upsets against ATP top 10 players Taylor Fritz and Holger Rune. Sinner acknowledged Atmain's impressive performance, noting, "He has beaten incredible players throughout his run to the semifinals, so I knew I had to be very, very careful. He has huge, huge potential, and I think we saw that throughout the tournament. I wish him all of the best." Atmain, who had only 5 tour-level victories prior to this tournament, will leave Cincinnati having doubled his year-to-date prize money and is set to break into the ATP Top 100 for the first time. He was also the first qualifier to reach the Cincinnati Open semifinals since 2015. Despite the loss, Atmain put up a strong fight against the world number one, particularly in the first set, where his strong serving performance, landing 78% of first serves and hitting 6 aces, forced a tiebreak. Sinner ultimately prevailed in the tiebreak and capitalized on his momentum, securing the first break of the second set in the 4th game to establish a 3-1 lead. Sinner is now set to face either Alexander Zverev or Carlos Alcaraz in the Cincinnati Open finals on August 18th, chasing his 21st career tour title. This report was updated with additional quotes and a photo gallery from Jannik Sinner's match. But the story doesn't end with just a win. It's about the records being broken. Next, we delve into how this incredible performance places Sinner in elite company, even surpassing Roger Federer in a significant statistical measure. History made on court. Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz are gearing up for a highly anticipated rematch in the Cincinnati Open final, just over a month after their thrilling Wimbledon final. Sinner navigated a challenging semifinal against the surprise package Terence Atmain, who had stunned the tournament by defeating João Fonseca, Taylor Fritz, and Holger Rune en route to the Final Four. Meanwhile, Carlos Alcaraz secured his place by defeating world number 3 Alexander Zverev with a solid 6-4, 6-3 victory. Both Sinner and Alcaraz are rapidly cementing their status as tennis greats, but it was Sinner who achieved a remarkable milestone on Saturday evening, moving past Swiss legend Roger Federer in a key statistical category. It's a rare occasion when a player is discussed in the same breath as Roger Federer, especially when surpassing him in any aspect of the game, given Federer's 20 Grand Slam singles titles and record 8 Wimbledon triumphs. However, Jannik Sinner has now claimed a record previously held by Federer by reaching the Cincinnati Open final. According to Opta Ace, since 1990, Sinner, at 23 years and 356 days old, is the youngest player to reach 8 consecutive finals in ATP Masters 1000 and Grand Slam events, surpassing Roger Federer, who achieved this at 24 years and 273 days. This incredible streak highlights Sinner's consistent dominance at the highest level of the sport. Sinner's impressive run also saw him clinch his 200th ATP Tour hardcourt victory in his semi-final match against Atmain. Tennis TV reported that this win makes Sinner the first player born after the year 2000 to achieve 200 ATP Tour hardcourt wins. He has now won 12 consecutive ATP Tour matches, with his last defeat occurring at the Tara Wertman Open against Alexander Bublik. Given his current form, Sinner is widely considered the favorite to defend his U.S. Open crown later this month, continuing his ascent in the tennis world. But Sinner isn't the only young star making waves and breaking records. Next, we look at Carlos Alcaraz's own impressive statistical achievement, placing him in an elite group of players reaching significant milestones. Alcaraz joins elite company. Carlos Alcaraz has achieved his 25th career victory against a top 5 ranked opponent in the ATP rankings, a feat that places him in esteemed company for the speed at which he's reached this milestone. The 22-year-old Spaniard secured this significant win by defeating the reigning world number 3, Alexander Zverev, in straight sets in the Cincinnati Open semifinals. This victory marks Alcaraz's 25th career win against a top 5 player, positioning him jointly second among players who have reached this mark the quickest since the ATP rankings were established in 1973. Alcaraz is scheduled to face another top 5 player, world number 1 Jannik Sinner, in the Cincinnati Open final. This match presents an opportunity for Alcaraz to win 3 consecutive ATP Masters 1000 finals, following his triumphs at the Monte Carlo Masters and the Italian Open. While Jimmy Connors also achieved 25 top 5 wins quickly, he missed out on this specific ranking comparison due to the 1973 introduction of the ATP rankings. Connors finished his career with 51 top 5 wins, with his first 25 coming in just 39 matches against legends like Stan Smith, Ivan Lendl, John McEnroe, and Bjorn Borg. Bjorn Borg, like Connors, also falls outside this particular statistical comparison due to the ranking system's introduction date. Borg compiled a formidable 61-19 record against top 5 players from August 1973 until his retirement in 1993, with notable wins against Arthur Ashe, Connors, Illy Nastase, and John McEnroe. Alcaraz's current record against top 5 players stands at an impressive 25-12. Notably, 4 of these victories have been against world number 1 players, including 3 against Jannik Sinner and 1 against Novak Djokovic. Beyond Sinner, Djokovic, and Zverev, Alcaraz has also defeated other top players such as Daniil Medvedev, Stefanos Tsitsipas, Jack Draper, and Rafael Nadal. He has now equaled his childhood hero and compatriot, Rafael Nadal, in the number of matches taken to reach 25 top 5 wins. Nadal, who turned professional in 2003, secured his 25th top 5 victory in 2008. The majority of Nadal's early top 5 wins came against Roger Federer, who held the world number 1 ranking for much of that period, alongside victories over Andy Roddick and a young Novak Djokovic. Roger Federer, however, narrowly edges out both Nadal and Alcaraz, achieving his 25th top 5 win in one fewer match. Federer's career record against top 5 opponents was 104-75 by the time he retired, with his 25th such victory occurring in the latter stages of the 2004 season. His notable wins during this period included victories over David Nalbandian, Leighton Hewitt, Andy Roddick, Juan Carlos Ferrero, Andre Agassi, and Yevgeny Kafelnikov. These incredible achievements by the current generation of stars are truly remarkable. But to understand their achievements, it's crucial to look back at the players who paved the way, like Roger Federer himself. Federer's strategic gamble paid off. Nearly 2 decades ago, Roger Federer claimed his inaugural Cincinnati Open title, a victory that marked a significant moment in his illustrious career. In the 2005 final, Federer faced Andy Roddick, a player he had also defeated in the Wimbledon final earlier that summer. Federer triumphed over Roddick in Cincinnati with a score of 6-3, 7-5. This win was the first of a record 7 Cincinnati Open titles for the Swiss maestro, with his last victory at the event coming in 2015. Following his 2005 Cincinnati triumph, Federer discussed a strategic risk he had undertaken with his schedule leading up to the US Open. When questioned by reporters about the decision to play only one tournament between Wimbledon and the US Open, Federer explained his rationale. He stated, "It's quite a risk, but what can I do, you know? I also need my rest. I'm playing consistent for the last 2 years, and this is really the moment where you can basically pick and choose when you're number one in the world and you have all the options, you know. Just because you're number one doesn't mean you've got to race through the same schedule like you've been trying to get there, you know." Federer emphasized his long-term approach to his career, prioritizing rest and a smart schedule to maintain a high level of play and minimize injury. But it is how should I say? There's so much you can still do. Everybody wants to have you. The offers are big, you know. You're like, should I do it or should I not do it? But I believe in the long run, I believe that I should follow a smart schedule throughout my career so I can hopefully play injury-free as long as possible and try to maintain the good level. That's my mindset I have on picking tournaments. So this is definitely also not only thinking about this US Open, this preparation I have, it's much more long-term. This is how I'll keep it for the rest of my life, I guess. This calculated risk proved to be highly effective. Federer went on to reach the US Open final, defeating players like David Nalbandian and Leighton Hewitt en route. He then captured his 6th Grand Slam title and 2nd consecutive US Open crown by beating Andre Agassi in the final. Federer continued his dominance at the US Open, winning the title in 2006, 2007, and 2008, before his streak was broken by Juan Martín del Potro in the 2009 final. Federer's last appearance in a US Open final was in 2015, where he was defeated by Novak Djokovic. Looking back at these legendary strategies and current milestones offers a complete picture of the tennis world. Now, let's quickly recap all the top stories we've covered today and what they mean for the future of the sport. And that's a wrap on today's biggest headlines. Jannik Sinner is back in the Cincinnati finals, continuing his hard-court dominance. Sinner is also making history, becoming the youngest to reach 8 consecutive Masters 1000 and Grand Slam finals, surpassing Roger Federer. Carlos Alcaraz joins an elite club, reaching 25 ATP Top 5 wins faster than almost anyone in history. And we remembered Roger Federer's strategic scheduling that paid off big time nearly 20 years ago. Don't miss out on any of the action. Hit that like button, subscribe to the Roger Report for all your sports updates, ring that notification bell so you never miss a video, leave a comment with your thoughts, and follow us on all social media platforms.